Good morning and welcome. See lots of familiar faces out there this morning. I know your program says that Kaylan's going to be speaking to you today. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it. I'll tell you a little bit about Kaylan, but first I want to tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Gail Spradlin. I am the director of the Hand in Hand Ministries, the Auxier Center office. I'm an Eastern Kentucky native, coming from a family of 9 children. I'm number 8 of that 9. We lived in a 3-bedroom house. My mother was a Pentecostal homemaker. My dad was the sole provider, and he was also an abusive alcoholic. So at the age of 16, I decided the way to get out of that terrible situation was to get married. Little did I know that I was jumping from the firing pan and into the fire. Love is blind, right? Anyway, I married the most abusive, controlling man that I've ever met in my life. Here I am, 16, living in a trailer with no heat. The plumbing in the kitchen doesn't work. The ceilings are literally falling down around me. No education, no job, no money, and an abusive husband. At the age of 28, after lots of physical and mental abuse, I decided it was time to leave. As hard as it was, with a 4-year-old, a 1969 model trailer, and a car that was on its last mile, I started over. I worked at a fast food restaurant, went to school full-time, and worried from one day to the next where that next meal would come from. Or if I had an emergency, if I had a flat tire, how would I get it fixed? Then one day I received a phone call, and that phone call was about the receptionist position being opened at the Hand in Hand office in Auxier, which just so happened to be just a couple blocks from my house. The center hired me, and then they helped do some repairs in my home, gave me a pay raise, sent me to numerous meetings and trainings, but with that, and by the grace of God, is why I'm here today, the first of 9 children to attend college. And also break that cycle of abuse. Hand in Hand not only changed my life, but they changed my son's life. And now I'm able to help change others. So now let me tell you a little bit about Kaylan. In the spring of this year, I met Kaylan. Kaylan's a 23-year-old boy that lives with his grandmother and his 18-year-old brother. I get a phone call, and it's from this elderly lady that says her roof is leaking. So Dave, our construction guy, and I decided to go out and do a site evaluation. Not knowing what to expect, we walk up on the stairs, we knock on the door, and this frail little old lady comes to the door. We introduce ourselves as she begins to tell us that she had recently fallen off of the 60-inch set of stairs when the railing gave way. She proceeded to tell us her story as we went into her house. We walk into the house and we see 10 to 12 pots and pans lining her dining room and hallway. The rain had destroyed her ceiling, her floors, and also her electrical. She was desperate. As tears ran down her face, she looked at me and she said, "I just give up." My heart broke. I told her, I said, "You can't give up. We're here to help." So she continued on with her story as she told me her story of being married to this abusive man until the day he passed away, and how she had recently lost her son, which was Kaylan and Anthony's dad, to a massive heart attack, and how their mother had abandoned them in a hotel room in Lexington. My heart broke for her. Her house was literally falling down around her, and man, did that hit home. She was drawing $674 a month. She had no means of doing these much-needed repairs. The next week, we started making these repairs, and we asked that the two boys help us do these repairs. And Kaylan, the oldest one, jumped right in. He was so thankful, so appreciative. As Kaylan worked along beside of us, he began telling us how he had dropped out of school. He didn't have a driver's license, but he wanted to get those, and he showed great interest in getting them. So I began to tell him that Hand in Hand offered GED classes, and that if he would come and attend, that we would also help him get his driver's license. So 2 weeks ago, as Marla and I sat on the porch discussing with Kaylan the speech that he was supposed to give today, I saw a sparkle in his eye. A sparkle as if it was the first time that he had had the opportunity to really think about life other than just a day-to-day survival. Kaylan wanted to be here today, and Kaylan has been a big help to us at the Auxier Center volunteering. But when we arrived yesterday morning to pick him up, we found a note on the door, and the note said, "Sorry I can't make it, but I had to work to buy toilet paper and dog food." How often do we think of something as simple as buying some toilet paper? So our goal as the Hand in Hand Auxier Center staff is to continue working with these two young men and helping them get their driver's license, their GED, and possibly be an inspiration to them to go on to college and to be able to fulfill those dreams. So don't ever think that putting on a roof or putting down a floor doesn't change someone's life. Because if they don't have to worry about getting rained on, they have a chance to dream. They have that opportunity to dream. And don't ever think that as one person, you can't make a difference. Because everything starts with one person. And I want to thank each of you for everything. And may God bless each of you.